Hello and welcome to Tea Time. I'm here today with Dr. Jess Jacobs and Dr. Jess. Hi, Dr. Jess.
Hi.
Dr. Jess has a background as a chiropractor, and during the pandemic, she's actually started her own business called Pupsibilities, which I just love. So I want to tell you a little bit about Pupsibilities from Jess's website, and then we'll talk about some chiropractic support for health, especially with sedentary and desk type of work. So Pupsibilities is on a mission to support no-kill animal shelters, and they donate 15% of their profits to Save Shelter in Princeton, New Jersey. Through 6 core programs, and this is from Pupsibilities' website about the Save Shelter, through 6 core programs of rescue, shelter, health and welfare, spay, neuter, adoption, and humane education, SAVE focuses on the rehabilitation and successful placement of treatable and adoptable animals. SAVE endeavors to build, foster, and strengthen the human-animal bond. And then, I just love animals, so I love this. Jess on her website goes on to say, when you support Pupsibilities, you support a woman-owned small business that cares. You get to shop for a cause. You receive a cute item in the mail that not only supported a small business, but also supported animals in need. And Jess has an adorable dog named Chewy who models some of the products. Very, very sweet. And this shirt that I'm wearing today is actually one of their products, Be Kind to Animals. And I thought it was just really sweet. And then it's also supporting animal welfare. So awesome all around. So I love this, Dr. Jess. I love your mission. And I've ordered, from Pupsibilities to support your mission, and just because the items are so cute.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And you hand make every item, right?
Yeah, I hand make at this point in time, I'm hand making everything, which I love. It's a lot of fun to do. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. And is Chewy like an inspiration for some of your items too?
yeah, absolutely. So Chewy made me a dog mom, which kind of set me on this path. I've always loved animals. He is not from a breeder, but he's also not from a shelter. He came from an accidental pregnancy. So I ended up with him through that. Obviously, dogs that come out of those situations can end up in shelters. And that sort of got me thinking, I can't even imagine him not having a home and not having love and all that stuff. The shelters give them a ton of love, but he definitely inspired me because it just put me on this path of being a dog mom on top of being such an animal lover.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. And it's widely known that having an animal companion like a dog or a cat, it can really help to improve health measures for people in different ways. And I think especially, during the pandemic when a lot of people may have felt more isolated and had different, mental, emotional struggles and in different ways, having that kind of comfort of a dog or a cat or another animal even could be really therapeutic. Not to say that necessarily just adopting an animal during the pandemic for just a fun pandemic pet, not that that's necessarily the best thing, but in a responsible way, animals can really give a big sense of comfort. Do you have any kind of thoughts around that, or anything that you've seen with the shelter that you work with there during the pandemic?
Yeah, absolutely. Just in general too, just across the country, adoptions went up during the pandemic because people were home and, they were excited to, here's my opportunity. I'm home more often. And it was an unprecedented time. So it inspired a lot of people to get an animal. And like you said, a ton of mental benefits. You have a companion, physical benefits. They keep you moving. Chewy has me walking every day. But like you said, it's definitely important to make sure that you're ready for that type of commitment, because for them, you are their whole world. So if you're not ready for an animal, that's okay. Maybe you'll want one in the future, but absolutely, if you're ready to make that commitment, if you're ready to make hopefully a 10 to 15 year commitment, it's amazing. And there's, of course, so many mental and physical benefits to having pets.
Yeah, definitely. And I love what you said, that you are the pet's whole world. I think that's a
Yeah,
good perspective for everybody to just keep in mind when we're thinking about adopting pets. Um, and that, just kind of goes along with your mission with Pupsibilities too, which is beautiful, just to support the welfare
yeah,
of all animals. Um,
absolutely.
yeah. So shifting topics just a little bit, from your expertise as a chiropractor, are there any kinds of tips or tweaks or things that you would say people could do to help support their health when they're at a sedentary job, especially as it relates to their back, their neck, everything in our body is connected, right?
Sure.
But
Yeah,
things that you
absolutely.
might have seen more commonly.
Sure. Yeah. So in general, my main thing is stay in good health. Movement is so important. I think the most important thing for us is to be moving and stretching and eating well. We really are the ones that are in charge of our health. And to me, I always tell my patients that is the most important thing. But of course, going to your doctor is really important too. It's always a good idea to go get checked out by a chiropractor, make sure everything's good with your spine and your muscles and your nerves and everything. But going off the pandemic, we've been talking about just in general, people are sitting a lot more, they're not moving as much, and they're working from home. So they're not really getting up to move as much. So it's always a good idea when you're sitting down for a couple hours, even just to get up and walk around for like 2 minutes. It's better than just sitting down for 4 hours straight. Again, movement, when possible, when your body allows it, is
Mm.
amazing. In general, too, when you're sitting, always try to make sure that you're sitting up nicely, head is straight and neutral. You don't want to be like this. You don't want to be like this. Just because extended periods of time in certain positions can definitely, cause more wear and tear and cause more kinks to come up. And we're trying to stay as pain free as possible. Another thing is to make sure that at your desk, your arms are in a good position. So you don't really want to be like this and you don't want them too down low. I'm not sure if you can really see, but you always want to be in a nice, comfortable position and whatnot, things like that.
Should your
That's
elbows should your elbows be at like 90 degrees ideally, or does that matter?
even a little bit more than that. Just let me try to like show you how I am. Just kind of like that. Like it is the best position. And also listen to your body. Maybe mine feels best that way, yours might feel best at 90. But again, just movement and changing things up. We don't want to be in one position for too long. And
Mhm.
keeping yourself strong. Go to the gym, move, use weights, all that type of stuff just to make your body more able to adapt to, life's moments.
Yeah. Do you think that when people, because one of the common things that people will hear is to use like a heating pad on, like their sore muscles, or if they have like one of those kind of knots or trigger points to try to
Yeah,
massage it or heat. Do you think that kind of stuff is helpful?
Yeah, so heat I love, but everybody is so different. So again, just everything that we're talking about here isn't medical advice, and no person is textbook, I like to say. So we're all different, and today I might do well with heat, but then tomorrow if I'm having a flare up of some sort, heat may be the last thing that I need.
Mm.
Um, everybody's so quick to just throw heat on, and a lot of times it is helpful. But it's always a good idea to just go checked out by whether it's a chiropractor, PCP, healthcare professional, just to get the best idea of what to do with your given situation.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And with naturopathic care too, naturopathic and chiropractic work really well together.
Absolutely.
But naturopathic, we're all about the individualized medicine. So
Yeah,
definitely,
totally.
definitely. Do you feel like you you've seen a change in patients when they start to improve their mental emotional health as it relates to their physical health, their body, whether it's holding stress or other things? Have you seen
Totally.
a yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as we all know, pain can be very difficult on your mental health. If you're in pain all of the time, it's not good. You're struggling physically, but you struggle mentally. And like you said, both chiropractic and naturopathic doctors, we really think about the individualized patient, and everybody's different. And a lot of people, there are some patients that you could feel their back and there's obviously something going on and they're like, oh, no, I don't feel anything. And then there are other people that are in a lot of pain. So it is subjective in a lot of ways, but it can definitely get you down. I know for me, if I'm having migraines or low back pain, it's going to make me a little cranky, and I'm not going to feel my best. So that's why it's so important to do what you got to do to stay healthy.
Definitely, definitely. Yeah. And so I have a question that's coming to mind that's a little bit different, but I will see people sometimes who are hesitant if I recommend they see a chiropractor. They're hesitant because they may have had a bad experience in the past, or even it wasn't like a bad experience, but it
Yeah,
just wasn't helpful in the past. But I'll still, if I'm thinking that it may be helpful for them, I'll still recommend they see someone with kind of an open
yeah,
mind because everyone's a little different. Is there
totally.
anything that you might be able to kind of speak to with regard to that about how, from one chiropractor to another, it's worth seeing someone else. It might not be the best fit type thing, just, to not cancel it out altogether. Because it's such an amazing toolkit that you have as a chiropractor to help
Absolutely.
people.
Yeah. So the main thing that I have to say about that is there are so many different types of methods and techniques that chiropractors use. And I think that is part of what gets lost in translation when people are like, oh, I went to the chiropractor, it didn't help me, et cetera, et cetera. That's fine. I'm not saying they're wrong, whatever. But every chiropractor might be doing something different. I might be doing something completely different than the chiropractor down the street, et cetera. So this is a conversation we can have for hours just because there are so many types of techniques to treat patients. Just for example, everybody thinks of the cracking as the main way that chiropractors treat patients, but I actually don't do that with every single one of my patients. It's, again, very individualized, and it really depends on each patient. So the chiropractors I know will sit down and create a patient-centered plan for you. And say someone comes in and they're like, I don't want the cracks. That's fine. I have other things in my toolbox that I could do with you. So yeah, don't discount it. Always a good idea to ask your friends, like, do you love your chiropractor, et cetera? Because it's always good to go through a referral base too. And that's with any doctor. That's with getting my hair done. I do that, that's with getting my nails done. So it's always a good idea. And certain patients might work great with me and work better with another chiropractor, and the other way around as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Really good points.
Yeah.
Um, do you ever do chiropractic with animals? I know that's completely a different
Yeah.
anatomy,
So I don't, but there is a certification process. There's more schooling that you can do in order to become an animal chiropractor. And I
Mhm.
absolutely love it. I think one day I might end up doing it.
Yeah.
But I have to do some more research. I know in the state of New Jersey, I can do it, but I would have to get more education. So,
Very cool.
yeah.
I'm just curious if is it to become an animal chiropractor, would you become a chiropractor first and then do the additional, or could you be a
Yeah.
veterinarian and then do additional?
So it totally depends on the state. There are certain states where chiropractors cannot do it. And it's very gentle. I just want to point that out. It's not like what you see in the YouTube videos and stuff. It's super gentle and specific and just goes towards the joints that need to be moved, et cetera. Again, I'm not an animal chiropractor,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
super gentle. But I know in New York State, vets can do it. I believe they need more continuing education. In New Jersey, where I am now, I know I can do it, but I would have to go back to school.
Cool. Very
Yeah.
cool. Well, I just love Pupsibilities, and I love that as a chiropractor, you bring such a holistic perspective to things too. But I'm so excited about my shirt, and I'll put your website link in the notes below the video.
Perfect.
But do you want to share, if people want to contact or learn more about Pupsibilities, where can they do so?
Yeah, sure. So you can go to my website, pupsibilities.com. Like she said, she'll have it in the link notes. I have all of my products there, all my information about my mission, why I created it, etc. You could feel free to contact me. There's a little contact us tab if you want to connect. I'm also on social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Pinterest, and I love connecting with people there. I actually met Dr. Kathleen through Facebook. So yeah, feel free to message me. I always like making new friends, especially people that align with the mission and are excited about it too.
And then you can also see pictures of Chewy being a sweet
Yes.
little model.
Yes, he's all throughout the website.
So cute. All right. Well, this has been awesome. Thank you for coming on and sharing about Pupsibilities and also some of your insights into just supporting people's health.
Of course.
Yeah, this has been great. All
Yeah, thank you
right.
for
Well,
having me.
you're welcome. Cheers. And yeah, I'll talk with you soon.
Okay, perfect.